All right. So we just got done filming the indicator video, and now we're gonna go ahead and get into not that our feature file. We're gonna go ahead and take this off. This. I need all this here. Yeah. All right. Cool. Market's about to open as well, so we got about 30 minutes to do this. All right. Cool. What is this? No. Don't do that. No. Listen. What was I gonna do, guys? All right. VIX. Where's the VIX at? VIX is currently downtrending. All right. So remember last time we were building a model, and the thing with trading is that, and I actually just had a conversation with like some guy who worked, not some guy. His name is Thomas Gar. You can search him up. Like the guy's a beast. He's done at least $1 billion in financial transactions, shares, institutional side, managed his own hedge fund, XYZ, right? Astounding guy. I was having a conversation. He was like, "Yo, forget day trading, bro." I said, "Damn." Right? He's like, "You have no clue what you're actually trading." And before I might have been like, you know what, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. But like when you're doing this level of research, you have to understand like this helps you navigate what exactly you're trading. So what I'm looking for is my thoughts on the VIX. Markets open, rejecting out of this LVN and overnight highs. We reached up and rejected. Yesterday, where were we at? VIX was very high. It was higher at about 10 o'clock. And it was starting to drop, meaning looking for a rally. Yes, buffet depending on intraday structure, yes. Look at that. Coming out of value. So we're rejecting higher value continuously is what I'm looking at, but we'll see for the next 30 minutes. I'm getting an issue here. Uh, Fix isn't really giving me anything right now. It doesn't look like today might be a strong breakout day. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. And so, like, I'm really just going through, like, my thoughts on the VIX. Oof. You see? Grab right off of there. It grabbed right off of there, and then like right out here, the volume. It looks like it might be a fader kind of day. It doesn't look like the market really knows where it wants to go. So we're gonna use a 3 point stop at a 6 point target because we're looking for the market to give us some moves, but not nothing too crazy. Previous POCs there. I can have everything marked in this range. Is there any major LVNs I could take a look at that are no? That's invalid. Alright. Yep. 4 to 6 for fades, like we spoke about. So like having a model and going through all this information, especially like that's why I also wanted to take like the first 30 minutes of the market to kind of just like look at this and work it, so that I know when I'm going into with the day. There's not much going on in the market, honestly. We didn't have that much of an opening gap. If I'm damn, I don't even have my phone on me. All right, we're back. Okay, okay. All right. Yes. Let's get back. Just gotta read this through this fast. Additional filters. This is another. Yes. Yes. Edge window is shorter. Yes. Mm-hmm. Um, VIX isn't really giving us like we've been going. We'll wait and see what happens around 10 o'clock. But this, why do we keep on coming up so high? Jeez, that's because I keep on. I have this one. This, like this right here. This is important. This right here is going to be important for us today. So I'm gonna. No, stop. Very important, I think. Figuring out what we're gonna do when 10 o'clock comes around. All right, there we go. I think that's an important note for me. Like looking, like right now, VIX is rising, right, as the market's going through, and so what I would be looking because that means volatility is increasing, meaning the probability of fluctuation is increasing. That's what the market is pricing in. Let's look at ES. No real clear direction. Let's look at NQ. no real clear direction, right? Um, and so, with that being said, like this is important for me to gauge as I'm looking at my trade. And so, like, there's not one indicator, there's not one thing that helps you build the right buys for the day, right? It's a combination of things. Where the hell would I look for bonds? Oh, bonds are rising. Bro, get a load of this, bro. Let me just go back to VIX. I'll just use VIX. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't want to look at that. Mm-hmm. 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 If our VIX is rising, it might signal that, and we're reclaiming a VIX, so we'll see what happens. It might signal that we're in a choppier day. You see, like you get playbooks based off of context in the market, not just what you see. What you see will fool you all the time. Mm, yes, these are things that you want to remind yourself about. I'm gonna move this box out here so that when we get ready to trade, we look at these things and we remember, yo, we're supposed to be looking at that. And this is what makes the market kind of fun. Is it's a puzzle. I'm not worried about whether I'm gonna make money today. I want to figure out the puzzle. So this gives me context, right? Like if VIX is rising and the market starts to go down, like that's a good setup. If VIX is dropping and the market starts to go up, that's a good setup. Um, so I'll copy that as well. And that's the end. Overnight inventory is basically just how the stock market moved overnight and whether or not like it did anything significant to a point we'd have to pay attention to it. As you can see, we're getting a little bit of bouncing around inside this LVN. So where I'd be comfortable taking a short would be over here all the way down here for about 5 points. With my risk being very small, meaning we're going to rely on bookmap a lot. Direction is just not clear, although we might be building bullish order flow. We'll see. And we'll look at the VIX. VIX is dropping a little bit. Still got a couple candles, so we'll wait and see. But the rest of the market's moving down. Showing bearish order flow. You're showing bullish order flow, which is interesting. But we'll see. So now here's where I ask ChatGPT a question. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, see. There you go. You learned something new. There's the RVX. That's going to give us what we need. Okay. So market should be moving up ish or Riv. Well, now we're going to look for an RVX. Yeah. Okay. Sentiment. Yes. Look at that. What are you talking about? Mm. Look at that. Literally calling it. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Am I delayed? Are you serious right now, bro? I'm delayed by a couple minutes on this. Either way. Why do we not have it? I'm gonna look for a way to get an RVX. But I guess we'll just have to do this for now. And we'll just rock with VIX for now since I'm more updated. Let me see if I can get it on my phone. So I cannot get it on my phone, but there are also other market breadth indicators. So this is sorry, I had to pause that. This is something that I'm gonna look into, and we'll make a video about this, and then I'll make a video on why I use so much data to back up my trading, and like what specifically that means for me, and why hedge funds do it as well. But give me a second. All right, we're gonna take a look at this guy's video, because he's a very data driven guy. I like him.
How I used a mathematical model called generalized autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity to build an indicator that...
I just want to stop right there. I have no clue what he's saying, but I'm gonna learn. Let's bring down the volume a little bit.
Predicts whether tomorrow's price action is going to be good or bad with 72% accuracy. Days like this one are characterized by a large true range, meaning a large range from the low of the day to the high of the day. I've already made a video going into decent technical detail on Garch, but the gist of it is true range is positive and skewed. So we first take the logarithm of true range, then we subtract a daily EMA to center it, and we run Garch on the residual variance, then we back transform that to give us our actual predictions. In this indicator though, we use those forecasts to flip a 0 or 1 state and then give us a prediction saying, yes, you should trade tomorrow, it's a good price action day, or no, you shouldn't trade tomorrow, it's a bad price action day. And that's how we actually wind up shading the chart here, but I'm going to explain that in a little bit more detail. First, let's just look at this table. This is yesterday's prediction for today. The true range that it predicted was about $306, and then today's realized actual true range was about $311. That's pretty close. Tomorrow's predicted true range is about $306. The way we actually transform the forecasts into a 0 or 1 state for the current day or for the next day is by checking if it clears a threshold. So you can use either a static value, like if the forecasted true range for today is above, for example, $305, then the state is 1, highlight the back of the chart green, and we're cleared to take a trade today. Or you can use a dynamic value, which is what I'm doing right now, which is a multiple of a trailing average of days realized true ranges. So I'm doing right now 1 times the 20-day trailing moving average of realized true ranges. In other words, in order for the state to be flipped to 1 and the chart to be highlighted green saying, yes, you're cleared to trade today, the forecasted true range for today has to be above 1 times the 20-day trailing average of actual realized true ranges. We also track the next day state hit rate, which is how often the predicted state for today matches the state for today once the market session is closed. So that gives us 72% accuracy. That tells us that 72% of the time, the prediction that the model made yesterday saying either yes, you can trade or no, you can't trade was correct. So if we go and explore this chart a little bit more, it says that yesterday was not forecasted as a good price action day given the parameters that I put in. The day before that was, that's this day right here. This day was not. This day was not. The chart highlights green on days that were forecasted to have good price action. This day was, etc. So if you trade something like a breakout strategy or something that performs well when the days have large true range, this could be very helpful for you. If this price action looks good to you, you need to see this. I'm going to explain how I use
Delta trend. Nope. Maybe he puts in his next video.
If you think this isn't priced in already, you need to do more study. That's in response to a video that I made about the applications of variance forecasting, in particular a Garch 1-1 model to equity trade. And the key there is that I was talking about equities. For equities, knowing the shape of the probability distribution of returns doesn't tell you anything about the expected stock price in the future. Knowing how steep or flat this distribution is isn't going to tell you anything about the expected stock price in the future, because the expected value of the stock price doesn't depend on the variance of these distributions. It just depends on their mean. So when you say, if I think this isn't priced in, I need to do more.
Yeah, that's different.
If this price action looks good to you, you need to see this.
I'm going to do a deep dive into his stuff. Because he's like a quant.
I've been thinking more about prop firms lately, and even though I don't trade them, I wanted to share this math trick. This is called a risk-neutral probability density function, and it's backed out from the prices of S&P options and then has its price adjusted to ES prices. It shows us, under the simplifying assumption of risk neutrality, what the probability is of ES closing at each of these prices. So what application does this have to a prop firm? Okay, well, let's say that you went long here and you placed your stop loss, let's say right here, at 64.5910. The risk-neutral probability density function says that there is a 75% chance of price closing the day above that. That means that under the risk-neutral assumption, there's...
Anyways, so he's pretty interesting. I just knew that he had a video about price action. VIX is rising again. It looks like a choppier day. You go down to 1 minute. We've been in this defined range, and we low-key might break out here. I don't want that line to be that thick, though. I'm kind of scared to pull up the volume profile because it might look hideous. I'm going to bring up my book map, and it looks hideous over here. It also looks like sellers are in control, as it did just push past. There's no liquidity. Why the hell is there no liquidity in the market? What the hell? There's no major liquidity around either. This is kind of scary. Okay, I was just way too far zoomed out. There's no low volume nodes, no nothing. Today's more of a fade day. So I low-key might take this long if I get a good thought process about it. Now we might push past these lows. Looks like we're building up selling pressure in the market. It looks like it. So now we gotta wait and see. Because we could very well just be chopping out and have a snapback. We take one of those and then from there it's just barbecue chicken. But the only way I'm gonna take a long, or trade long, first of all, is like per se, I see liquidity start to stack up underneath. Right now there's liquidity above and we're pushing lower. There we go. Give me 5 minutes. Let me go 5 minutes. Let me go 5 minutes. I have a previous LVN at 2496s, which I could work out. Well, 2496s. And here we go. What's VIX doing? VIX is on the rise, meaning that we're risk on, right? VIX. There's more panic selling. This is a good ideal. Like continuation. Let me try to grab a volume profile for all this. There's still nothing really significant for me to look at here so far. So we'll just wait. So like you see that huge move and like that's not something that I'm gonna chase. Yeah. If it's really gonna be continuation, then you have to come back up here to the 5s and reject. Like just based off of the overall volume profile. On yeah. So that's why I also use Bookmap, because now we gotta look at the liquidity there down there at this level. We are out of value, I think, right? Aren't we? Where's our value area low gone? Price is building value lower. It might be a continuation day lower. Rejected value area. This, I don't know how I feel about it. I want to pull back to this LVN in the 500, and then you also have all this previous LVN, and then this right here. So, and right now what I'm looking at is actually Delta building. Price is moving down, but not a lot of new sellers are entering the market, and actually buyers are re-entering the market. But that could all just be, again, a trade back into this LVN off of this support. Price is moving lower, but there are not many new sellers. So I'm opposed to selling this right now. I'm very opposed to selling it. The only way that we're going to sell is retrace, and I see that like there's need for continuation. VIX is rising though. Um, so again, I kind of want to pull back into the volume profile. And I think we're going to get it. Well, the market is bouncing off of that as well. But you also have all the stack liquidity on top of the market. Lots of liquidity. Coming up to 2500s. And so then for me, the only way that I would even think of taking a long, and if I go short, it's going to be a very short scalp as well. I've got to see the market like reap down. I'm not really seeing. The market's processing itself. Could this be a good long? Maybe. I'm not too confident about it because we still are. There we go. The market just feels so thin to me. I don't know how to describe it. Price is high. No new buyers are moving in. I want to go short. I want to say short, but the market's also just not moving a lot. I really want to. Because yes, you have new sellers re-entering in, but we're also not pushing price down fast. And I want to see stacked offers above. And there's a very strong offer here. Yep. You didn't even look at the chart, but there should have been like a very sharp jump. This looks like a reversal to me. If I see buyers rearm themselves very strong, well, it could also just be a continuation play. But I need to see this liquidity beneath this break before I even think about that. Because sellers are in control. But buyers are re-entering again, and sellers didn't move price down that much. So I want to see the market get really strong above here, and then maybe we target somewhere in here. So we got to be a little bit patient. We don't look like we're moving much. We have liquidity resting at, I'll give you the price, 2497. Buyers are kind of like reclaiming the narrative over the past 5-6 minutes. Boy. I just don't want to get in and then have to take on risk. But it's going to be a very short, like a very, very, very short kind of trade. Like, I don't like the lack of volatility and like the lack of volume in the market. Looking at the VIX, it's also coming down. It might build a case for a rally, but the market is just very choppy, so I'm expecting it to bounce between levels. Not looking for any real big plays.
Order filled.
I'm going to sell. Actually, I'm not.
Order filled.
I'm not going to do that. That's dumb. Because we're right at a support level. That's actually very dumb. You got to catch yourself sometimes. Stopped out for break even. I want to wait for a break of that support level. And idealistically, my entry would have been up there. Because there's no telling what could happen. And it's not looking like a continuation day for me. Like, look at that. Who's texting me? Yeah. Yeah, you gotta, like, even now, there's more buying building up. That's like, the price isn't moving any higher. So somebody could look at this and be like, oh my God, we had a perfect rejection. This is also microstructure. So I really should not have marked that out. I won't lie, only because the important macro structure tells me, like, no. So I apologize for that. It is a part of the volume profile. This 500 area. But it doesn't quite feel like a continuation day to me. Or maybe it's just a slow burning continuation. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe I am wrong. It's probably going to be a longer session. Like, before we get a trade, it's probably going to be a lot longer. It's a mini. I'm just not really confident in going short. Like, I'm even looking at the broader general, and there's like a case for bullish order flow. If we don't get a level over here, we definitely get a bounce right here. In my personal opinion, if this is a bouncing kind of day. And so, like, that's why I'm just wary about taking the short, because the move is already very extended as well. And it's obvious, like, you're already extending 13 points in one direction. Yes, everything else is drifting a little bit lower. The VIX is also very choppy to me. And I got in at 24967. LOL. Only be up about 200. It's not even like worth it to me right now, the amount of risk that you're taking on for this trade. And yes, you could be like, oh, you could close it for partial, but you want to be absolutely short. Like, there's liquidity building under these buyers. The case for buyers is coming in very slowly. I know it's a choppy. firmly believe it's a choppy kind of day. Um, and if we get some strength out of here, then I will take the market long. I don't know. Market's going strong. Should I get in, guys?
Order filled.
I'm gonna get in. We are in our trade. The case that I see for buyers is here. I want to say target right here. And we're going to bring our risk down as much as possible, as fast as possible. So 294 is 0.3. Okay, that works. Like right there. I want to see a very strong candle here. So we might get a little bit of a pullback very soon. Market's moving slow, so we got to give it its time. But we are up $100 right now. There we go. There we go. You see how the patience comes in? This is what I'm more confident in. And then let me look at the VIX. We're dropping. So this is a move that I'm going to like sustain and kind of hold. I'm not going to move my stop or anything like that up until we make a low. And then start to push off from that. Because I want to verify that my buyers are strong here. So we could take a small loss. We could take a very small win. So my finger's on the trigger because we could very well be wrong, but it doesn't look like it, especially with the VIX dropping. So let me pull the VIX. So just keep in mind the 30s. I don't know. Market doesn't look like it's moving much in any direction today. So I need more buyers to come in before I stay in my position, which is what's happening. But I need them to clear the 499s. And if we get a close above the DMA, which we need a couple seconds for. Oh no. I want to see buyers come back in, guys, and push price higher. And they're coming in. I'm seeing them right now. But we're in a bit of die down. Buyers are building a lot. Like a lot. I think we're seeing a liquidity shift right here. If we can push price up. I think we're waiting for that candle close. I'm speculative here because I saw a lot more buyers. This is concerning me. It's concerning me because price is getting flat. So our entry right here could be wrong. But I'm seeing that buyers are starting to build up as well. And so like that could just be a manipulation downward, you know. VIX is also slightly dropping. And so like all this is telling me like, hey, just be patient, because I'm not seeing any like this is just a pullback for me right now. What I'm seeing over the past couple minutes. Very stressful. Why you gotta start, go? Why you gotta start? No, no. Just because he got a heart, don't mean that he got a heart. Don't mean that he got heart. I have a pit in my stomach. I really don't want to take a loss. But we gotta hold it through. Because I'm seeing the bullish case build itself. Like, again, with the last trade, there's not a lot of strong momentum. We might have to close this trade because I'm seeing a lot of sellers develop in the market. And they are pushing price down.
Order filled.
Did
Order
I just buy
filled.
again?
Order filled.
Wow. So we just took a hugely unnecessary loss, and I don't know why that just happened. But okay. Wow. So that just pissed me off. But it's okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have gotten stopped out, but now I would have. I mean, we're out of balance. Continuation downward is the play. I just am not really comfortable with it. I don't know why. That was a perfect LVN top that we had, and even another continuation leg lower. I don't know. I mean, you even have the pullback to the value area low. $298. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just a lesson for me too, you know? Like, because my expectation is that we come out of value and we bounce up. But, like yesterday, you opened where? Yesterday, you opened outside of value. You come back in, and that's where you look for the fade. And so, like, I guess in value is where you're looking for fades, right? We might take one more trade here. I'm very upset right now because it's a beautiful continuation trade that just took a little bit longer. from the 501s, damn near 10 points. So, like, we did not see the overall narrative. Very upset right now. Because that's just straight money. But there's also really strong orders. But I want to see a pullback and then we go short again. Price is being very well defended. Dang. And these moves had such good strength. Like, this is a 6-point pullback. Ish. Well, we did break structures. So that happens, you know? Like, you can know exactly what you should have done or what you could have done if you looked at the big picture. But again, I chose, like, hey, I think it's a fade day, but, like, fades only happen inside of balance, typically. So, like, there was no sustainable move to the upside. And we're also technically below my momentum indicators that we outlined before. So I don't always get it perfect. So where are we at currently? And this is the first trade of the week, y'all. So the only way to quote unquote get back or anything like that, and that's not what I'm gonna do unless I have an actual good setup. Because it is only 10:30. Is wait for the market to pull back, and then we look to go short again. Running through overnight lows. The market's going to find some place to bounce, but
they're saying the government shut down, and it's kind of giving me flashbacks of when you and I caught it, Chris. You know, I hear people talking like, "Oh no, what do we do without government?" But like, that's exactly how I felt like what I do without you type shit. I remember you and I got in an argument because like I didn't want to vote. I was like, I don't think it matters. And you got so upset. You were like, it does matter. It does matter. Like you have a voice. You need to use it. Now I'm thinking like, damn, I miss hearing your voice. I don't know. The world just seems more and more dangerous every day. There's so much shit going on in every day.
I'm not looking at. This is AI. That's actually tough. All right, let me lock in. In that pullback I talked about. Dang, y'all. This is a good trade too. Because we were talking about shorts earlier. I just was very hesitant, and now VIX is on the rise as well. I think I don't have a problem going short right now. Not at all. I just need to see a good case for it. Because we're down 230, 240 today. Gotta be careful. I was about to press that sell button. Would have been an immediate drawdown. I want to see a good effort from buyers. Now you see where price is reaping up, and then we're coming off of a major liquidity. Plus, you also have major liquidity up top. Can't believe I pressed the buy button twice. Like, that's so stupid, bro. That's an LVM. I want to take this short. I just need you to give me a reason. Give me a reason to take this short. I refuse to go long. This is a heavily extended candle as well. So if longs are the play, right? If the reversal is actually going to happen, then what happens is you come up and then you pull back a little bit. Because this could very well just be another pullback to... I'm seeing sellers are getting back in control. I want to see them move price back down.
Order filled.
All right. Yep. 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 What did I talk about, guys?
Order
I'm
filled.
going to buy the market there. Call it. 170. Brought my 172.40. So we're down 70 for the day. Oh, market even pushed a little bit lower. There's a good amount of liquidity here, though. So that was my fear. There's a 188 order, 59 order, 49 order. Buying orders. Like, if the market pushes through that, then yeah. But, like, you see how we called it perfectly? I took a bad trade. I saw, hey, bad trade did not work. This is the narrative. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump in my new trade. Down 100. Right? I'm going to jump in a new trade. And in the new trade, I'm going to make sure that I reap back what I lost. And I could have held, because it looks like you're going to break through, which you do. Yeah, we just saw a huge amount of sellers in the market. A huge amount. So today was a downtrend day. I thought we were going to go long. I thought we were going to balance, but we're actually coming out of previous day balance, right? I think we were going to come out of, we came out of previous day balance, and so I should have directed my thoughts towards continuation, and I did not take the first entry from here all the way down to here is beautiful, you know. This might be a liquidity sweep right here. I don't know, the case for longs is very hard for me today. And so, like, seeing that and realizing I was wrong, I said, okay, I'm seeing this great pullback. I know that prices below. We're about to have a cross. I think that downward momentum is happening. We're also at all-time highs, and I talked about, you know, like, price coming down. I guess it's going to get a little bit bouncy. We might get the bounce right here. One of two locations. And so, like, you can be wrong. Just make sure that, like, last time we made $400, right? And that was with one contract. If we did two contracts, that would be $800. I'm using two contracts now. That's why we lost $240. Just made $170. And with fees, like, it amounts to $20 extra that you lose. So only down about $100 to start off the week. One win, one loss. Where did I enter? 2493. One win, one loss. So about 50% for the week so far. It's not too shabby, but I think I'm done for the day, honestly. That was a very interesting trade. I don't know. Today's a slower day in the market too, and we do have news. So it's definitely a bit harder to read the market. And, like, we see the DMA coming, like, flowing in. It's just a hard LVN right here. LVN right there. This is a hard case for me to say go long once I saw that long fail. You know, and it's also nerve-wracking because I'm trading live and, you know, you want to make money. But that's trading for you. You know, if something goes wrong, then, like, you just got to understand the conditions that you're in. I thought it was going to be a balanced day. I was very firm, very set on it being a balanced day. Like, we were balanced, and then 10 o'clock came around and we were out of balance. And I should have seen that. I should have, like, been like, okay, we're out of balance right now. So, like, that cost me $100. Very sad about it. We could have been a little bit up today, but it would have only been about another $100. Today's a very slow day in the market. I should have looked at the volume, and I actually need to. I want to take a look at what that guy's thing back there was with the Garch and whatnot. So I might do a deep dive research kind of deal. But even now, you're getting more continuation towards the downside. So like previously, so this is the thing, right? And that's like one of my old examples. This is a new model that I just made, so I'm also making that adaptation. It's like I would see this and be like, oh, oh, well, I have a fade model and we're not. It looks like the move is pretty extended, so it looks like we're gonna go long. And I literally said that. I heard myself say it. It's a fake out. And so we get stopped. Well, I stopped myself out for less than I would have, so good. Because I understand the market dynamics and what would make my position valid and invalid, right? And there's actually more sellers building up, I'm seeing right now. And look, price just dropped. Look at that, bro. But the market condition is continuation. It's just that the market is slow. And I know the market condition is continuation because we're out of balance. We're out of value. We actually came up, this right here, right? All this right here was continuation. Then at this level. This level is an old LVN, so I should have never put it on my chart, honestly. Something that you come up and this is actually a textbook setup for a scalper. The world's most famous scalper. His name is Fabio Valentini, where you have a volume profile, you find the previous day balance, price breaks out of it, retest one of the value area highs or value area lows, and preferably you want an LVN, and then you get continuation downward, which is exactly what we saw. And so once I see that, like once my long stopped playing out, and I saw that we started to dump, and I saw, okay, when you have a trend, the first LVN is good. When you have a trend, the second LVN is good. After that, it gets kind of shaky. So this is the second LVN, and I said, yeah, I'm going to take that. And it's actually building, which is good. It's building. I wasn't going to stay in the trade, though. Not me. Threes to the, I would have been like 500, but I wasn't going to stay in because this is very far extended, and that was the second LVN. And you have this major level right over here that kind of sparked this whole thing. So I know there's a lot of orders that are resting right over here. And if I look, I don't want just the session, but price is struggling. Like, you have more sellers, but price is not moving any further down. Like, yes, it is, but also at the same time, it's not really, you know? So for me, like, it's just high risk to hold it there. I would prefer to not be at a level, you know? So I would prefer to be coming off of here and then, like, think about getting out right here, which is where I would have gotten out. So that's very frustrating. But, yeah. One loss, one win. Down about 100 to start the week. And, like you see, the adaptation that comes down to being a trader and not losing as much money, because I could be very well down like 300 today. Things of that nature. Including fees. But you have to be able to make an adaptation. So that's the trade recap, guys.